Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. Hey, I'm your host for L2 Productions. You are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Tough Love Atlanta. This is season 5, episode 3. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. Also subscribe to my channel. And you can leave your comments below. I also encourage you to go to Tough Love's series site here on YouTube and subscribe there. How are you loving this series thus far? Hopefully you are. I'm loving it as they are peeling back the layers on these characters and the story. I'm loving it. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so we start off the episode. We get a flash forward scene, and then we go back to the original storyline that gets us to the flash forward scene. We see Kenny. 2 cops have shown up at the accident. Lisa's there. One of the cops say that Lisa is stable. The other cop is giving Kenny a breathalyzer test. It looks like Kenny possibly doesn't know anything about the whole cop being arrested type of situation, because he's lifted up his hand and also given his a breathalyzer test. And he said, "You can put your hand down." They have some questions for Kenny because it looks like, from how it looks, like someone has been ejected or something has been ejected from the car. One of the other officers, they go looking around and they find that there's another body. Now, we don't know what the body is or whatnot, but did this person get ejected? Who is the person that's being ejected? So I'm wondering, is it Jason? Is it Drew? I don't know, but we're gonna see. All right, so we go back to about 2 months ago, and we start off the scene with Monica. Monica, she's getting her morning coffee, breakfast. She calls Jason just to check in with him, and tells him what she's doing. She's going to her car, and she's seeing that it's being towed. Monica drops everything, and then she goes and yells at the tow driver, "Don't take my car, don't tow it." And the dude says, "Well, I'm not really towing your car, it's being repossessed." And she's like, "What's going on? What are you talking about?" Apparently there has been some false information that has been put on the loan application, and we're taking it in. And Monica's like, please, begging, and the person that's repossessing the car basically says, "You got to figure it out on your own." So Monica gets into the office, and she is hot, and she has no discreetness about herself, and I don't blame her. And she's going off on Jason as to what's going on, and he's like, "Can you keep your voice down? We can talk about this a little bit more chill." Kenny comes by, and he wants to know what's going on. And Jason says, "You're late. What are you doing up in here, and why are you trying to get up in this business?" I'm paraphrasing. So then Kenny goes over to the office where the other the other people from the fellowship are at. So Lisa, now that we're there, she has set up a website for this whole festival thing, and others started to get upset. Aisha, did Drew get upset, or Kenny? But some of the others were starting to get upset because they're like, "Wait, I wasn't in on this. How come I wasn't informed?" And da 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 da. Then everyone starts arguing. So then Monica and Jason, they come in and they're like, "What is the commotion?" Aisha's like, "Well, there's been a website that's been built and I wasn't even included on it. People are doing their own thing and it's just not cool." And Lisa was like, "Well, I could have been more inclusive on my end, and I do apologize." And Monica said, No. Lisa took the initiative to get something done, and you should really follow her example. There's a lot that needs to be done in order for this festival to work. The main thing is to get sponsors, and we don't have any sponsors. That's what you should be doing, and you should be working more together on certain things, but there's a lot that you can do to make this successful. Jason and Monica asked for Kenny to come to the office so they can discuss what's up, because Kenny was late again. And so they get a little bit harder on Kenny about, "Okay, you got to stop with this lateness. You said all of this stuff, da 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 da, and you haven't even done one thing or completed a thing." And Kenny was like, "Look, I do apologize. I have this sponsor that I'm working on, and hopefully this will help." So Jason and Monica said, okay, you get one more time. If you get this sponsor, all is forgiven. You cannot be late again, though. And he says, cool. Did we get another shot where the team is working a little bit? No, I think Lisa and Aisha, they're talking alone. Lisa was like, I could build you a little front website to help draw more followers to your page. Drew comes out, I think. Well, Drew and Kenny, they get into it a little bit. We find out that Drew and Kenny just don't see eye to eye, and all of a sudden Drew doesn't like him. I don't understand where that's coming from, but whatever. From there, everyone has their own individual storylines. Aisha did invite everyone to her home just to see if they can come together, just to chill a little bit for this whole fellowship festival thing. Jackie goes to her parents' home. Jackie's mother, who's a political figure, and the dad, who's a lawyer. She's asking for a sponsorship. First, they was asking her, how are things going with this music thing that you have happening? And she's like, everything's going pretty well. And that's what I wanted to speak to you about, this whole sponsorship. And they were like, this is for a festival. Yes. And basically it's a talent show. Yes, Mom. Well, we can't be affiliated with that, and there's no way I could really have an okay to even give out any money for this. There's no substance to this. So Jackie said, well, look, I have a packet here. Could you at least read over it? Jackie's mom said, I'll read over it, but it's definitely a no. Obviously, it doesn't look like any of the adults in this whole situation are taking this fellowship because, once you graduate college, you should be set for life. There should be no gaps of anything, and you should be on your way to your career. And music is not the way that you should go, as a lot of people, at least in older generations. The next day, we see Drew. The fight between Drew and Kenny was about sponsorships. I think there was something about, Drew, you haven't even done nothing yet, as far as what Kenny was saying, Well, he went to his fraternity, and the fraternity has now agreed to sponsor. After the leader leaves, some of his other frat brothers, they just kind of talk a little bit. They talk about college life, and they talk about this girl named Amber. Amber that seemed like some type of groupie. I think they said, I hope that Amber doesn't come around to this festival, because she was just kind of like this groupie type person. So they went further to talk about what Amber's been up to lately, and she's been talking about that was taken advantage of. Drew said something along the lines of, we did mess around, and then she started mad dogging. I don't know what that means. I guess it has something to do with all of a sudden flipping out, but that's all I really know about the whole experience. So obviously something is going to come up, which we do find out at the end of the episode, that Amber is claiming happened while she was in college. So Drew, what have you gotten yourself into? All right, so was there anything else? Aisha's get together. Kenny's on his way. He's trying to get on the subway, and he doesn't have enough money to go past the gate situation because he tried to use his card or whatever. He finds out that he has insufficient funds. You ain't got no money. Ooh. Shout out to J Hud, Jennifer Hudson. But anyways, he sees this guy go through the token thing, and then he just follows through. Uses the dude to get through, to get on the subway, to get to Aisha's home. Drew shows up, Jackie shows up, Lisa shows up. Drew tells Lisa, we're gonna be here for an hour. It looks like everyone is showing up. Kenny ends up showing up, and I forgot who said that they were surprised that everyone came to Aisha's. And they said, well, thanks to Lisa. So Lisa, you're kind of the glue to this little group here. She kind of smiles and all that good stuff. So obviously that's a key to something that's going to happen later on in the series, as far as Lisa being the glue and also being the most gullible person. And Aisha has a friend there. Her name is Camille. I don't know if she's a roommate or not. She's kind of being co-host while Aisha's getting herself together. Drew and Camille start talking. And he says, looks like you have great taste. And she said, well, I know how to make it do what it do. And she's thinking about the party. And he says, no, I'm talking about your shirt. I said, Lord. Like 2 feet away is your girlfriend and you are flirting. So they go over to the couch. Well, they didn't. We go over to the couch. And Jackie is talking with Lisa. Like, well, take a look at Drew. Like, what's going on there? She's like, he's okay, Lisa's trying to say. Well, it looks like, as Jackie's saying, that he's trying to push up on this girl. You better go check him. And then she's all, ugh. Camille was like, on the flip side, when we get back to their scene with Drew, like, isn't that your girl right there? And he says, you know, we got an arrangement. Which they do have an arrangement, but you have broken 2 rules. You're not supposed to be embarrassing her. Nobody's supposed to know what's going on. And then 2, you are trying to hook up with a friend of a friend. But Lisa's sitting there not getting him in check. I'm sure there's going to be some type of hell to pay if she brings it up. But we're going to have to see what happens in the next episode. I don't know. Aisha, she comes in. They give a toast. They start talking about who's actually in a relationship. So Drew and Lisa, y'all in a relationship. They're trying to act like they're hardly not in one. But Jackie's like, no, y'all been together for like 3 years, right? Yeah. Then they talk about Kenny and Jackie. Jackie says, I'm single, as a dollar bill. And Kenny was like, what she says goes. I'd be like, Kenny, stand up. Just like Nicole needs to stand. I mean, not Lisa needs to stand up. Y'all so crazy. Don't act like it's not what it's not. But whatever. So Aisha says, I think Camille brought it up or something. Like, weren't you just dating someone? And Aisha was like, yeah. And then Camille was like, well, he's gay. And then they want explanation as to what's going on. And Aisha says, well, he's bisexual. And most of the crowd, except for Lisa, says, well, that's cool. He could be bisexual. And what Jackie and Drew was like, no, you got to pick a side. You can't be bisexual. And I think Lisa was like, well, he likes you, so what do you want to do about that? And Aisha was like, well, I didn't react too well when he told me that he was bisexual, and he hasn't communicated with me since. So, obviously that's going to be something. So they do their whole thing, party, blah, 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 blah. I think they did a toast or whatever. What happened? They start talking about sponsorships. I think Drew said that he got his sponsorship with his fraternity. Aisha was the one that started it off about the sponsorship. She said that she got 3 or 6, and it was partly thanks to Lisa for sprucing up her page. Kenny says, oh, I forgot a scene. I knew I was forgetting something. Kenny went to go visit his uncle, who has his laundromat. Kenny went to ask him, the uncle, about sponsorship. And he was like, you gave up your job here, and now you want sponsorship from me. Like, you could be having money to take care of your mom and all that. Right now, your mom can't pay your rent. And what does this talk about you being in a storage unit? Basically, the uncle is not up to it, and he's not going to sponsor anything. Kenny needs to get a real job, blah, 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 blah. And that's just that. But to go back to the party scene, Kenny ended up saying that he got a sponsorship today, and it's going to be 10 G's. And Drew called it out and clocked him and said, I know you lying. And then Kenny and Drew, they was getting into it for a few minutes, but the ladies broke it up. They didn't get close to each other. But in a fight, who y'all think would win in this whole situation? It looked like Drew was in the sports back in the day. Now, Kenny could just be from the streets. So, will we take over athletics versus someone from the streets? Who y'all got money on? Let me know in the comments. So at this point, everyone's just ready to go. Camille was done for the day. She goes to a room or whatever. Drew passes the room, and I think she's getting undressed. And Camille ended up asking for his phone. She put his number in the phone. So we know how this is going to turn out. But that was the end of the episode. I think somebody ended up texting Kenny to get some money. Not the end of the episode yet. Texting him to give him a little bit of money, blah, 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 blah. So as they're leaving, Drew is walking out, and he gets this text from somebody about, here's a message from Amber. Amber has put out there, I guess on social media, that it's been difficult for her, but I'm coming forward to say that during my senior year in college, I was SA'd. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but she was abused and taken advantage of, basically taken advantage of. And that's how we end the episode. So obviously something scandalous is about to come out about Drew, or Drew's involved in it. Lord. And let's see what Lisa's response is going to be. Sure she's going to stand by her man? We shall see. That's all I do have. I do appreciate for coming to my channel. Please stay locked into Tough Love series. I seen something a few months ago that season 2 is propping up to come. I don't know. I haven't seen any promotion for it since. However, I'm ready for it. Anyways, I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video and also subscribe to my channel. And leave your comments below. Until the next video, peace.